begin a Hearthstone adventure!
Hello everybody and welcome back to Blackrock Mountain. This is the last boss of Wing 4 and we will have the first boss of Wing 5 coming up later on today as well, which would be pretty cool. This is the deck list. I hope you find this helpful, and this is the exact deck that I obviously did it with. So, we are doing Priest, and we're against Nefarian. And it was pretty tricky. I didn't go into playing this with any sort of ideal cards to have in hand to start with, because the tactic with this guy is that you need to make sure that he runs out of juice as quickly as you can, and then later on, when he obviously has run out of juice, then you start to make sure that he takes the damage. So I won this one by making him go to fatigue. So yeah, if that doesn't work for you and you actually manage to do it another way around with this deck, then let me know down in the comment section. But yes, it's not a hugely expensive deck, because the biggest card and the biggest legend in this deck is actually Hearthstone, and that is in Blackrock anyway, so you don't actually have to, you know, buy packs to be able to get it. So, Blackwing Corruptor took out the Divine Shield, which is fine. I would have preferred him to go face to be able to do that, because obviously he uses the claw. And boom, and an Archon is dead. Now, thankfully for us, we have Shadow Word Pain. But we got something off of Ragnaros, which deals 8 damage to a random character. But, okay, I did Emperor Cobra, which is beautiful. So Emperor Cobra is really good in this, because he is going to bring out the big Twilight Drakes, and he is going to have big minions in this. So you're going to want to use the Emperor Cobra to take out things that are as big as possible. And you can probably see that he churns out a lot of minions as well. So Mind Control Tech is actually really good against this guy, considering that he has 2 minions that are 5 attack as well. So you take out the smaller minion and then you take one of his. Now that Twilight Drake is actually really good to get, because obviously the amount of health it's got, and we can throw it into stuff to kill it off because of the 4 attack, which is pretty good against the majority of things. And that of the 2 minions to get was actually pretty good, because as I just mentioned, we can use the Twilight Drake to trade into it. But he buffed it, so he had to be very, very annoying, didn't he? Yes, he cooled down Mind Control Tech and he used Bite. Now that's very annoying, but he did go face. We are running low on health, but that is okay, because we are Priest, meaning that we can buff stuff. Now we have managed to get Shadow of Death earlier on, as I mentioned. Now we could have gone around it a different way and done the Valen's Chosen and then buffed the Twilight Drake and took it out that way. But then our Twilight Drake would have been a little bit worse off, and it would have actually died to that. So yeah, there you go, lovely jubbly. Mind Vision, and he used Claw, which is going to go face as well, so he'll be left on 12. But we can always heal back up, so those claws are kind of irrelevant if he goes face. Thought Steal, so you could actually get some of his big damage cards. So there's a card that deals 4 damage to anything, and that's a pretty good one to get. And bear in mind that if he has Thought Steal, no, if I have Thought Steal, then you can draw into any of his big things as well. So like the Blackwing Corruptor and, you know, stuff like that. So he goes and kills off those, because he's a horrible, horrible dragon thing. And we've got a second Thought Steal. So let's use the Thought Steal, and we get a Dragon Consort and a Twilight Whelp, which is pretty decent, because Twilight Whelps, they're actually quite underrated, considering that it has no negative effects in comparison to Zombie Chow, because they both have the same attack and health, and they're both a 1-drop. Zombie Chow restores 5 health to the opponent, but Twilight Whelp does not. And if you know that you've got lots of dragons in your deck, then it's going to be pretty useful. So there's Emperor Thorson, and that's actually pretty good in this situation. But we can buff up the Cobra, and we'll use the Thought Steal, and we got one of his Flame Strikes, which is going to be very helpful later on, because if you remember right at the start of the match, he had loads of minions there. So if we were to Thought Steal into that, or he were to put out the minions a lot later on, and obviously we can take out a lot of minions straight away. So he used the Dragon's Breath on my Cobra, and he's chucked down the Blackwing Technician, which is kind of annoying. But now we know that he doesn't have any dragons in hand. But he could actually have dragons in hand, considering that I've got 2 dragons in my hand. And that combination of the Consort and the Fairy Dragon is pretty awesome, actually. It's very good value, because we've suddenly got a lot of damage on board. We've got 11 damage right on board right now, which is beautiful. But he traded into that, killed off 5/5, which is kind of frustrating. But you can kind of see how this deck is like balanced against his deck. And obviously he's buffed up his 4 what was it? I can't remember what. He doubled it, so it was 4/6. The Twilight Drake, and then we drew into Power Word Shield, which we can buff our guy with. We see what we get. What do we get? We got Light and Arrow, so we can heal our face if we want to, or we could, yeah, or we could put down the Blade Master and heal that up, which would be acceptable as well. But no, we'll chuck down a bunch of minions, because the only thing he can kill, well, 2 things he can kill, are the ones adjacent to Thorsen. Now we've got a 6 mana Flame Strike now, and that Light and Naru actually costs nothing, which is pretty awesome. The next dragon he plays costs 2 less, which could be a bit of a problem if he were to run Chromagus or something. But it's fine. I think he puts down Chromagus later on, but it is completely fine. So Flame Strike in this situation is... it's alright, because we can do, yeah, we do the Soul Priest, and then we can do the healing on there. And then we can throw that into there, and then boom, that thing's sorted out. Lovely jubbly. And now we can get a 5 mana Flame Strike, which is very good value, considering it's 4 damage to everything on his side of the board, and it costs 5 mana. That is very value, very well. Very well. So that Fairy Dragon costs nothing because of that Consort. And we're going to go down to 6. It looks very risky at the moment, considering his board is very strong as well. But it's fine, because we have a Dark Cultist, we've got Flame Strike. If we did Flame Strike now, we would take out his 2 dragons on the left, and then that 4/12 would go down to 4/8, and we can deal with that very, very easily. Now that 1/2, the little Priestess thingy, isn't going to actually get buffed, because we can't heal anything once we have the Soul Priest down. Which is fine, it's alright, because we can chuck down the 3/4 in hand, and we could heal that, deal this damage, throw the 1/2 in it, boom, and then we can chuck the minion down. There you go. Ha, that's what I was waiting for. Right, so it's we've got to make sure that we have control of the board with this, because if we don't have control of the board, then obviously we're not going to be able to win. So he does his Wild Magic, which he could get some fairly awesome cards, but bear in mind with Priest, he were to do that and were to get a Mind Control, then he wouldn't be able to play Mind Control on the same turn because his hero power costs 1, which is pretty convenient for us actually. So we chuck down the Piloted Shredder. We can also do 2 damage to one of his, or 1 to his face or something, because we've got to take out that 9/9. Throw sand into there because we don't have any cards in hand. Then we can do that, and then I think I decided on putting, yep, we put the 3/5 Soul Priest into there, because now we're gonna need to start healing because we are so low on health. And it did get very close, like, to us dying in this match, and it did take a little while to be able to kill him. And now we know that he doesn't have any other dragons in hand, so we're going to want to heal up, and then we can put down the Soul Priest for next, and then we can go face, because then we can start healing up face, and we've got 2 minions that we can heal as well. Now he is starting to run out of juice, because I imagine he's got either like buff spells or like other spells like that. If he doesn't have any minions, then obviously he's not going to put down any. Now fortunately, he killed our Dark Cultist, and that buffed our Shredder, which was very nice, because there's a very good card, Shredder. And then for it to get +3 health as well, is pretty awesome. So we are nearly down to health, instead of taking out his armor. So next turn we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But now he's put down another 9/9, and that 9/9 is really annoying. Mind Control is really good later on, but we do have the exact amount of damage, so we could do 2 damage to the 9/9, that would take him down to 7, and then we could throw the 4/1 and the 3/3 into it. and then boom, done. Now I would say I definitely saved the mind control tech until later on, just in case it did happen to have a bit more of a burst thing to take out his stuff. What? No, I'm sorry. In case he had a burst amount of minions down on the board. So now he's got 3 minions down. See what I mean about the burst? Just a quick burst of minions down. So Vol'jin would have been pretty good on the minion that he doubled the health of earlier, the Twilight Drake. But we didn't obviously draw into it. So if he does take the double health card from your priest class, and he doubles the health of one of his minions, then Vol'jin is really good with that. Especially in combination with the Okanai Soul Priest, because you could do the health swap and then kill the minion left over with 2 health with the healing damage. Double a minion's health. There you go. He did that perfectly on time. So we can swap the health. We can swap the health. Go on, Dwarfy. Dwarfy of the past. Swap the health. Swap the health. Go on. Swap the health. Swap the health. Swap it. There you go. I swapped the health. Beautiful. And then traded that into it. And we got Millhouse as well, which was extremely helpful. And also, if you notice then that 1-2 actually got buffed because we healed ourselves as well. Now he is running out of juice, and I don't know why, but he swapped the health of an already 2 health minion, which makes no sense whatsoever, because we can just throw the Twilight Whelp into the 6-2 now, and we can heal him back up. Now I actually played that wrong, so we should have put down the Northshire Cleric and then healed. But if you look later on, we went down to Fatigue, and we would have taken more damage again if I had done it the so-called correct way. So we now, I was just about to go through and say how much damage we've got, but it just took out the majority of our damage. So, Twilight Chosen, Valence Chosen, I'm sorry. We can heal up the 6-1, back up to 6-3, and then we can do another Cleric, and then we can buff him up even more. And then ta-da, 8 damage to face, he's going down to lethal. He's going to be very close to lethal, and then Shadow Madness! Which does nothing, really. It does nothing. It really is really bad in this situation. You don't Shadow Madness a 1-3 to throw into a 1-3. That's just awful. That was terrible. In case we haven't really got anything, so we can heal up Vol'jin and then draw a card, and then we can buff up our 1-2 up to a 1-4, draw another card. So now if we were to put out a burst amount of minions, we would have the mind control tech to take out one of them, and then if we were to put down any minion above 5 damage, then we could take it out with Shadow of Death, and then again if it was anything above 6 damage, then we could take it out with a big BGH. So we're in a pretty good situation, and with that light bomb as well, then we can just wipe out anything that's down that has more attack than health. So Cleric can go face, as well as taking out the 5-5. There you go. Okay, a Nitron. Okay, so that's what we got. And we're going to take out the 5-5. We've got a bit of defense, and I also put down BGH because next turn we would have lethal then. No, we wouldn't have lethal, but never mind. Unfortunately, he did the flame strike. He did the deed. And we still got 2 damage on the board. Bear in mind, we're both going to go down to fatigue now. And we heal up. And we go face for 2 damage. And then he's going to draw his last card this turn, I think. I purposely didn't put down the... Oh no, I did put down the mind control tech this turn. Because if he had no way of taking out our minions, then obviously we would have lethal. But he actually got light bomb through his hero power, which was really annoying. But fortunately for us, we can heal up the Annoytron and then do light bomb, and then it would wipe out his consort pretty easily actually. So we do that. He won't be able to take out my Annoytron this turn, but he actually did because he's really annoying. He's a really annoying boss. Well, I don't know if did I do this first time. I don't think I did this first time. I think I tested with a paladin deck and stuff first. But it seems to work really well with priest if you get the correct draw. That is. So you may have to just keep on conceding or just keep on using cards. Now we had nothing to play that turn, so we can just heal up face. There's no chance that we're going to lose with fatigue, because next time we lose health will be 5 damage. He loses 3. BAM! Sorry, I don't know what that was about. So, we shall have the first boss of Wing 5, which is the last wing, coming up later on, which would be pretty awesome. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you can do it for yourself. See you later, guys! Bye!
Looking up or looking down?
I made him look so terrified. He's like,
If you look up, you look like you're daydreaming. If you look down, it looks like you're examining your penis.
Look, I'm looking up to the top right corner with my mouth slightly open, like.
Hey guys. Yeah, literally.
My head tilted.
It was a bit of a boring.